Alright, so I've got some more Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 footage. In this match I'm playing 6v6 TDM on the Khandor Hideout map. I get a quick kill after joining the game relatively late. And the reason I've chosen this footage is because the visual look of the map. I mean, it's kind of looks like it takes place in kind of a desert, certainly a subtropical environment, in a kind of urban but not totally developed location. And again, the connection that I'm making is to Vietnam. So over the past few days within the COD community, there's been talk about leaks and rumors that the next Call of Duty will be set in Vietnam during the Vietnam conflict. I think that's pretty interesting. Like, before these leaks and rumors, there was the consensus was that the next COD would be like some kind of reboot of the Black Ops franchise. And with this light of these new leaks and rumors, it's kind of in that direction, but more focused in scope, more narrowed on the Vietnam conflict. So, in case you've never played the first Black Ops, the campaign, a handful of the earlier missions took place in Vietnam and the surrounding countries during the Vietnam conflict. I think there was like a handful of Vietnam type missions. I think that's pretty cool. The first Black Ops campaign is probably my favorite. I mean, I think the characters are memorable. The whole conspiracy is far-fetched, but it's still pretty interesting. Just something about the Cold War era. I mean, I was alive toward the end of it, but like the height of the peak of the Cold War era was just reading history, and you know, you don't even need to know that much about the Cold War to understand that it was full of tension between the two superpowers, and at certain points, you know, the world was, from what I can tell, close to like nuclear war, like just that type of situation where there's so much at stake in terms of like, you know, worldwide ramifications. It really lends itself to like really tense campaign missions, and like the geography of Vietnam in that era lends itself to, I think, a variety of locations for multiplayer maps. So obviously you've got jungles, but you've got like more cities and towns, kind of like this map here, but they're not like sprawling metropolises like New York or Chicago, right? What was I gonna say? Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because yesterday the Ronin operator has been made available in the COD store, and as I mentioned, Ronin is based on a real person. That's like the persona or company of Tu Lam, who is a former special operations soldier. And he's actually, like me, he's of Vietnamese descent. He is a refugee of the Vietnam War. So he came to the US with his family when he was a young child. And maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's a subliminal message that Activision is trying to, like, you know, hint at the direction of their franchise. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. But in any case, you know, just the consensus of the next COD being set in specifically in the Vietnam War is kind of interesting. But it kind of makes me wonder about like who is leaking this information and why, right? I know it sounds kind of like crazy, but my theory is that it's really just part of like an elaborate guerrilla marketing campaign by Activision and its studios. Like, I don't think it's just one person who's, you know, betraying the company by leaking information to like one or two YouTubers. I think it's like a deliberate company sanctioned attempt to drum up interest in the company's games. Right, because honestly, I think people pay more attention to leaks and rumors and extracted data as opposed to information that's disseminated or spread through traditional means like official press releases or articles posted by mainstream news outlets. I think it's really somebody in marketing has cooked up an idea, hey, let's periodically leak information to one or two YouTubers, and then they can spread it on YouTube and social media and Reddit and whatnot. And like, we'll give them accurate information, but we'll also give them, you know, some incorrect information once in a while, just so people don't get suspicious and realize that it's really just part of an intentional spread of information. You know, that's how I look at it. So even with that said, I mean, I think if the developers, Activision, Infinity Ward, and all the development studios are taking place, if they represent that conflict fairly accurately and in a kind of a genuine way, that will be pretty cool. I mean, I've probably spent like 17 days of game time in the multiplayer mode, so I've definitely got my money's worth with this game, and I'll keep playing it. I hope that the next COD doesn't come out this fall, because I think that's a little too much. I think maybe they should wait a year, you know, give each COD game 2 years in the limelight before they unveil a new one. That would be pretty cool. I think that's their plan. But going back to this game, so we were behind. We caught up relatively late and we've taken the lead. Now we're on the verge of winning game point or match point, and I get the final kill, which is really satisfying. I did camp in that one building, but hey, you know, whatever it takes to win the game for your team. And hopefully the next COD kind of carries that theme. I mean, maybe there's some gray areas where you can kind of toe the line between morality. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching. Looking forward to more COD info.